Hello. I wanted to share this presentation so we can also have translation for Hindi. These are our MLL facilitators, Dunya Gasimova, Allison Guida, and Ann Thapa. Please feel free to email us if you ever have any questions. Today, this meeting is about coming together as a community and talking about how to support home language development, as well as cope with the stress that we're all dealing with right now. We are all in different places emotionally and mentally. Some days we may be in the orange, really struggling and having a hard time getting through the day. Some days we may be here in the green, thriving and doing well. I think about our students in distance learning. Some students are doing really great with online learning and really love it. Other students are having a more challenging time, and it's really hard to not see our friends and be in person. Our hope today is to just acknowledge that things can change on a daily basis. And it's important to take the space to acknowledge our feelings and acknowledge that this is hard, but we are in this together. So, this is a chance for you to think, where am I on this scale? Where are my children? It's hard to know what to do during these tough times. What are the priorities for your family? For many of us, we're just trying to survive, providing our family with basic needs like food and a roof over our head. Many of us are essential workers and have to still go into work. Or we are taking care of our family members who are high risk. We know having kids at home during school can be very, very challenging. And many of us are facing hard times financially, and our sense of security is being challenged. We know that we want the best for our families and our children, and our emotional health and physical health is very important too. We are going to get a chance to share or reflect in this meeting. And if you're watching this recording, please feel free to reach out to your facilitators to continue this conversation about the priorities for our families. We're going to discuss ways that we can connect and some coping strategies. How can we escape from these challenges? You may be asking yourself, what do I do when I'm feeling stuck? How can I escape some of the burden of this current reality? Thinking of things that we are grateful for is a great way to shift our thinking. And doing this with our children is important too. With everyone being home, it's also an opportunity to connect. Finding time to cook a meal together or create something together, like an art project, can be fun ways to keep our minds busy and keep a positive feeling and loving feeling in our household. Staying active is, of course, good for our physical health, but it's really great for our mental health too. Going outside for regular walks or bike rides, if you can, is a great way to cope with some of the challenges we are facing. I want you to think about, what does your family already do that helps you all get through these hard times? Or what are some new routines we can start to keep us going and connected? We had an opportunity to check in about this. And please, like I said, feel free to email and start this conversation with one of us or other friends and family members. One thing we do know is celebrating multilingualism is important. We know many families are worried about their child's education right now. Many of us are worried about how much our children are on computers and screens. But there are ways that we can promote our home language and practice our home language to develop the skills that we will need when we get back to school. It takes a long time, 5 to 7 years of regular language practice, to become fluent speaking with academic language. At home, we encourage you to celebrate your culture and to have regular conversations with your children. This will help them work on their thinking skills as well as develop a vocabulary in their home language that we know is going to help them also in learning English. Celebrating our culture is so important. Teaching our kids about where we're from and why our language and family is important are wonderful things you can be doing at home. We encourage you to talk. Talk in your home language and require that your children answer in full sentences. Tell cultural stories and play games. If you have games from your country or heritage, those are great things to teach your children. And all of this learning will help them in school as well. They will have things to share and they'll be able to make connections. Nursery rhymes and singing songs and dancing are also great ways to cope with all the stress that we're feeling. We talked about cooking or making a meal as a family as being a way to connect. Teach your kids to make food from your culture, food that you grew up loving. These family traditions are beautiful. And it's great when our kids learn and feel the connectedness to where they're from. During the holidays or the winter season, many cultures have holidays and traditions. Talk with your kids about why you do certain things and why it's special. Developing a cultural identity is going to help them develop their own identity and individuality. I'm sorry. Think about, what are some things you already do with your family? make sure that we're still doing those things during these challenging times, if you can.